Press Reset Earth here, guys, and I'm sure many of you have heard. Flight MH17, Boeing 777 with 298 passengers was shot down by apparently a Buck missile. And the Western media is trying to blame this on pro-Russian forces there in Ukraine in the east. And they're trying to say Russia is behind this whole thing. And I'm going to prove to you in this video that this is 100% false. And this is actually a false flag perpetrated by Ukraine, the Western-backed Ukraine government based in Kiev. I'll also get into the fact that parts of this story being told are completely fabricated and are just 100% hoaxed. And the end goal here, the reason why this is going on, I'll get into that as well. So bear with me, everyone, and pay close attention, because I'm going to go over a lot of evidence in this video. And by the end of it, it's going to become more and more obvious that this whole thing is deception. So the first piece of evidence I'll get into here is this alleged recording released by the USB, that's the Ukrainian Secret Service, backed by Kiev and the West, of a Russian commanding officer talking to a pro-Russian rebel there in Ukraine, supposedly a few moments after this flight was allegedly shot down, and implicating Russia's involvement in this situation. And they put out this video in dozens of different languages: German, English, Russian, and specifically I want to talk about the Russian version of this video, because if you look at the creation, the timestamp of when it was created, okay, it was actually, as you can see here, it was actually created on July the 16th, and this event did not even occur till July the 17th, okay? So that's a major discrepancy in the story. So obviously this is proof that this video, this supposed evidence implicating Russia in the whole situation, was fabricated. These timestamps, these creation timestamps, cannot be changed. It's not like a Facebook timestamp in which you can change it and manipulate it. You can even do that with some YouTube clips, but this is the actual file creation date, okay? Creation time, July 16th, 2014. Right there in your face. And for further examination into this fake recording, you can check out this Zero Hedge article, which exposes the fact that it was made the day before the event even occurred. So I'll leave a link for this article in the description so you can check it out yourself. The next piece of evidence here are these tweets from a Spanish air traffic controller working at Borispol International Airport there in Kiev. And this guy tweeted this stuff out right after the plane was shot down and crashed, and he claimed that the Ukraine government knew immediately that MH17 was shot down. And he also claims that there were Ukrainian fighter jets accompanying the Boeing 777, and this was just 3 minutes before it went down. Pretty sketchy, am I right? And these are the tweets right here. And I'll leave a link for these tweets in the description. And by the way, his Twitter account was deleted soon after these tweets got into the public eye of the media. And for further confirmation, you can check out this interview conducted by Russia Today. And it's a TV interview with this guy, this Spanish air traffic controller. I believe his name was Carlos. And it's all right here, so check it out. I'll leave a link for this in the description. Also, Fox News Latino, as you can see here, actually reported on this as well. But as soon as I put this video together to show you guys, page not found. So I guess they took it down. Now, the next shady shred of information I'll get into here is the fact that this flight, MH17, was diverted at the last minute into a danger zone over there in eastern Ukraine. And this was done by the pilot because he, quote, felt uncomfortable, according to Mail Online. And as you can see here from flight tracking website FlightAware, the previous 10 flights for this Boeing 777 Malaysia Airlines were in this direction. These two lines right here, the green lines, depict where it usually would go. And then the day it got shot down, it went right here, directly into the battle zone. Now, why would the pilot do that? And, it's just so out of the ordinary. Even if it wasn't into a battle zone, it's out of the ordinary. And, man, I'm telling you, this whole thing stinks to high heaven. I mean, I'm not even halfway through the evidence here, and I've already proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this whole story to frame Russia and the separatist rebels in eastern Ukraine just doesn't add up, and it's straight up a lie. Now, we got as I said, we got the flight path being changed, diverted into a danger zone, okay? So out of the ordinary and doesn't make any sense. We have the Spanish air traffic controller that was working at Borispol International Airport in Kiev, and he said he witnessed on radar 3 Ukrainian fighter jets accompanying MH17 into this danger zone, and just 3 minutes before it was shot down, these fighter jets were with MH17 in the air. Okay, I mean, and finally we have this recording that was released by the Ukrainian Secret Service. It was a recording of a pro-separatist rebel talking with an army commanding officer in Russia, and it was fake. Okay, it was made the day before this event even occurred. I think all this goes to prove, okay, without question, that the Ukrainian government, the Western-backed Ukrainian government, made this whole thing up, or possibly shot this plane down and used it as a false flag to blame these separatist rebels and the Russians. Okay, and there's more, all right? There's more. A lot of these victims that allegedly died in the crash, a lot of this stuff doesn't add up either, okay? We have this video released by a Ukrainian news agency that shows these army officers or something taking passports, as you can see here, out of the back of an SUV. And look, these passports look brand new, okay? There isn't a scratch on them. Remember, this plane got shot down, and there's videos of this plane going and hitting the ground and exploding, okay? Now, how these passports came out unscathed, it beats me, okay? It just doesn't add up. And why is this army guy taking these passports out of the back of a Jeep and scattering them all over the place? We saw photos of these passports, these exact passports, on the ground. News sites like Hoax Online, I mean Mail Online, reported on this and had these passports as part of their picture photo essays. Okay, same exact things on the ground, scattered, same colors, everything. Also, we have the fact that these rebel leaders, these rebels, their accounts of this whole thing doesn't add up either. They suggest that many of the victims, these dead, charred bodies, they were already decomposing, okay, when they found them. So these were supposed to be, fresh corpses, and they seemed like they were already decomposing immediately after the crash, as if the bodies on the plane were already dead. It's very, very strange, and all this doesn't add up either. I haven't yet figured out what this is about, but maybe as more information comes out, we'll learn. Maybe they were trying to God knows, because we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Now, some more intriguing evidence here, some more interesting coincidences, is all the numerology involved with this incident, okay? Remember, it was MH17, and remember that number 17, and also the number 7 as well. I mean, they're very interrelated in themselves. So, and remember, this incident happened on the 17th of July, 2014. So, 17th day of the year, 7th day or 7th month of the year, July, and 2014, if you add 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4, you get 7. So 7, 17, 7, right? That's just the date. And also, this actually coincides with the anniversary date of TWA 800, which also happened on July 17th. And that was in 1996. Now, if you add up 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 6, you get 25. And what's 2 plus 5? 7. Again, 7, 17, 7. So maybe these two, situations are connected throughout history. I don't know. But more connections here is that flight MH17 actually took its first maiden flight 17 years ago on, you guessed it, July 17th. So, I mean, it's just too much to be coincidence, all right? This is very, very strange, and I think there's something going on here. And as many of you might already know, these Western elites, these, occultists that are in the know, they have a lot of this occult secret knowledge about how the universe works and numerology and stuff like that, and they like to incorporate these types of things into their deceptions. And some more numerology here. It was a Boeing 777, right? So there's 7 again. 295 souls on board, according to Anderson Cooper. And 2 plus 9 plus 5 is 16. 1 plus 6, you guessed it, 7. So we have all these 7s. And to top it all off, we have this bizarre speech given by Christine Lagarde, managing director of the IMF, in which she references the number 7 throughout the whole speech. Okay, this whole speech was about the occult significance of the number 7, and I mean, it's just so sketchy. It's just so sketchy. I mean, she even alludes to July 2014 7-7, right? Because 2014 equals 7, as I said before, and it's just very strange. This speech was given in January of 2014, and this is extremely important. And why is this extremely important? Well, let's talk about why this whole situation happened. Why MH17 was shot down by the Ukrainian government, by the West, and why they're trying to put blame on Russia. Well, first of all, it's important to understand that there's always multiple reasons why these Western elites do the things they do. There's always multiple agendas here. But I gotta say right now, the BRICS nations, this whole thing between Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, this is one of the main reasons, okay? They just got done signing a deal, creating a new development bank only days before this event occurred, okay? And Russia was leading the way on this, and China as well. But, they're creating basically an opposition force to the IMF with this deal. So there would be giving loans out to developing countries to build their infrastructure there, and that's something since the Bretton Woods Agreement back in 1948, I believe. That's something that the IMF always did. So this is a major opposition force to the World Bank and IMF. And as I said, we have Christine Lagarde, managing director of the IMF, apparently alluding to this this incident, this MH17 incident, via numerology. So she was giving a secret message, it seems like. And man, they're pissed. They're pissed at Russia. They're pissed at China for opposing them. And this is a major, big deal in the world. More people got to understand what this is all about. And these groups, these countries, Russia, China, Brazil, have also made deals to bypass the dollar as well. And as many of you know, the dollar is the world reserve currency. And they're starting to ignore that now. They're starting to So what that means, the world reserve currency, is everything has to be derived in dollars. You know, you have to buy dollars first before you can purchase petroleum and stuff like that. No, Russia and China has signed a deal to do away with that. So this is a major problem for for the Western elites that obviously control the dollar. And again, they're opposing the IMF and World Bank too, which is controlled by the Western elites as well. So that's what this is all about for the most part. Now, there's also a few other agendas here at work. Now, we have the Israeli invasion of Gaza being announced, okay, just a day before this event occurred, this MH17 event occurred. And they want to take away attention from that because that's a major issue with many people, okay? Innocent civilians being killed, women and children over there in Gaza. This whole Israeli-Palestinian thing heating up. They don't want people to talk about that because Israel, as many of you might know, is controlled by the Western elites. And the whole Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a prime example of the Hegelian dialectic. They control both sides. They at least sell missiles to both sides, and they, it's a perpetual war machine. It's all about profits, and it's all about. There's also an agenda to systematically, ethnically cleanse the Palestinians from that region as well. They don't want you paying attention to that. All right. So it's sort of like a distraction as well from this. And also, another interesting little tidbit of information here is that this plane was carrying, dozens of AIDS researchers, okay? Actually, there was over 100 public health experts on their way to an international meeting on AIDS, about AIDS. And, man, this is sketchy as well, you know. Is it possible that these people were onto something, onto a cure? Because as many of you might know, the Western elites also make money off treating AIDS and not curing it. So if you can keep selling medicines and stuff like that to treat AIDS and not cure it, it's a perpetual medical machine, right? A perpetual prescription drug machine to sell, prescription drugs. And maybe were these people onto something? I don't know. It's just speculation, but I find this very interesting as well. This could be another agenda at work here. So I believe all this, everything I just went over, I think it goes to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt what's going on here, okay? This whole thing is being manipulated. This whole thing was a farce. It was a false flag. And I already proved that some elements of it were just a complete hoax, all right? So that just about does it for this video, guys. And, man, I tell you, this world we're living in, it's crazy. These are strange times. And be thankful you're living in them because a lot is coming to light. A lot is coming into the open, into the public eye now. We have all this information at our disposal to finally expose the corruption on this planet. And that's what my channel's all about. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, check it out. Press Reset Earth and subscribe. Also, if you like this video, give it a good thumbs up. And please share this. Share this with your friends. Share this with fellow researchers, your peers, your coworkers, whatever. Okay? So I'm out. It's been Press Reset Earth. And as always, stay up and stay real.